A warning to persons operating illegal businesses. School board members learning about their role in the education system. And a pickled festival on tap for the West.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all, I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news, the Grand Bahama Port Authority addressing the issue of illegal business operations in the city area. This coming weeks after a concern was made by small business licensees in the port area. Assistant City Maintenance Manager at the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Renato Karayohu, is assuring business owners and residents that there are proper channels in place that everyone wishing to do business in the city of Freeport must adhere to. He says unlicensed businesses will not be tolerated.
This continued activity creates an environment of unfair competition for the business owners who have gone through the proper procedures to operate within the port area. Therefore, we are appealing to persons conducting business from unapproved premises to cease and desist because it is a violation of the restrictive covenants outlined in the deed of conveyance and the general policies of the Grand Bahama Port Authority. While we are mindful that these are challenging economic times, we request that persons who wish to obtain a business license or vendor's permit do so.
Karayahu says that anyone wishing to operate a business, whether in the long term or temporary businesses, such as seasonal businesses that cater to Valentine's Day and Mother's Day, must apply for a license.
In doing our routine inspections, we have noticed the increased activity of unlicensed vendors popping up, particularly during these seasonal times. And we request that those persons come into the Customer Relations Department to apply for a temporary vendor's permit. The staff is very helpful and they'll guide them through the process. Also, we've noticed an increase of auto repair garages within residential areas. Those issues cause environmental concerns because you have the instance of fluids leaching into the surface groundwater. And that has many implications to the community.
Assistant Superintendent of Police Gregory Lockhart says that a zero-tolerance approach will be taken toward any business operating illegally.
Once a person breaches or sets up shop without a proper business license, they can be arrested, charged, and taken before the court. And once they are placed before the court, it will be the duty or it's up to the magistrate to issue or levy a fine as it pertains to their breach.
And for those businesses that are licensed, Lockhart is reminding those establishments to also operate within the confines of the law.
There are vendors here in the community that are licensed by the Port Authority, and I'm sure on those vendors' permit, it is outlined their hours of operation, where they should operate, and how they should operate. We encourage those vendors to stick within the parameters and guidelines of their vendor's permit. Failure to do this will result, that's another breach, and it could result in your vendor's permit being revoked.
School board members taking part in a workshop this morning at the Church of the Ascension. The Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Michael Pintard, spoke on behalf of the Minister of Education, the Honorable Jeff Lloyd, who is currently out of the country. Pintard says there is a need for a cohesive operating system, and it is his hope that each board member leaves the workshop armed with greater knowledge about their roles and responsibilities.
Where the school board not only focus on the financial management of scarce resources and to make sure that to have an interest in terms of how the curriculum is constructed, to have a voice, because they are an extension of the community, a voice in the discipline of our students, the cleanliness of the school environment, as well as the medical state of our students.
He says the purpose of the board is of the community as well.
To play as citizens a greater role in the management of our own affairs. School boards is about decentralizing government control of the educational system and us taking greater responsibility for what our school does and what our students become.
The Barry and Sheena Johnson murder trial continued today in the Supreme Court, but the morning session did not go as planned, as one of the attorneys, Jeffrey Farquharson, who is representing defendant Paul Belizaire, requested copies of a report that he said he would need in order to continue his cross-examination on Sergeant 772 Lorenzo Johnson. Justice Estelle Gray Evans then adjourned the trial to 12:30 p.m. to allow the attorney to deal with that matter. Paul Belizaire, Devon Hall, and Kevin Dames are all accused of killing the Johnsons at their home in September 2015. They are facing 2 counts of murder and armed robbery. 3 foreign nationals taken before the court today and charged with overstaying and illegal landing. We are told that the 3 men, 2 Ecuadorians and 1 Dominican, were traveling in a van in the area of the Fishing Hole Road when they were stopped by police. The men were unable to produce proof of legal status. It was later discovered that the 2 Ecuadorians had overstayed their visitor status, while the Dominican national was unable to present proof of legal entry into the country. In court today, the Ecuadorian pled guilty to overstaying and was convicted and ordered to pay $3,000 or, in default, serve 2 years in prison. The Ecuadorians were ordered deported upon payment of the fine or completion of their custodial sentence. Meantime, the Dominican national pled guilty to illegal landing and was ordered to pay a fine of $3,000 or, in default, serve 1 year in prison. He was ordered to be deported upon payment of fine or after serving the custodial sentence. The past few weeks have been challenging for the Forbes Charter Services Company. The leading tour agency on Grand Bahama has been faced with a number of unfortunate incidents, including a fatal accident and a fire that destroyed nearly 20 vehicles. This morning, the management and staff of the company paused to seek God's guidance and protection as they chart the way forward. Tonight, Sabrina Brown tells us that a number of religious leaders and industry partners attended that service.
We ask the Lord that they will bless from Forbes and all his endeavor. Children, the Lord will make a way somehow, Lord.
I believe that the best is ahead of you. I'm here to tell H. Forbes that you're going to be bigger, better, stronger, and faster.
Religious leaders came highly charged, bearing words of encouragement as they admonished the management and staff of H. Forbes Charter Services to stand fast during these challenging times.
Great things are about to happen for Forbes Charter and the Forbes family, because if God allowed this to happen, then he wants us to move to a higher height.
We had the fire, but God said, I'm going to deliver you from them. The traffic fatality, God said, I'm going to deliver you from them. Those who were in accident, God said, I'm going to deliver you from the noisome pestilence.
And he has moved so many mountains out of my way. Oh, God is a wonderful God.
Director at the Ministry of Tourism Betty Bethel Moss and sales manager at Castaways Resort Vernon Grant say H. Forbes Charter plays a vital role in the local tourism product.
An impression was made on the travel community in the United States, Canada, wherever we traveled with Hadley, because he demonstrated professionalism when he walked into those agencies and told them what experience he can deliver to their clients. He exceeded that experience.
Castaway Resort have been partnering with Mr. Forbes for years. As the largest ground transportation on the island of Grand Bahama in the Bahamas,
it is incumbent upon us to give you the support.
Owner of H. Forbes Charter, Hadley Forbes, is grateful for the support of the community and renewed his commitment to Grand Bahamas' economy.
God gave me this business. God is going to support, strengthen, and this business will go on.
H. Forbes staff members received a special anointing at the end of the service. Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition continues in just a moment.